They told you it was a deal. Volunteer for one expedition into the Hadal Black Site, navigate 115 rooms, retrieve the crystal, come back alive, and in exchange, you get freedom, a cleared criminal record, cash. Sounds fair. Except Urbanshade has been running this facility since 1962. They have sent hundreds of prisoners down there before you, and if any of them made it back with that deal honored, why are they still looking for volunteers? Think about that for 1 second. The facility has been operational for decades. The same mission briefing, the same promises, the same deal offered to every new group of expendables. If anyone had ever truly succeeded, the mission would be over. The facility would be secured. The need for more volunteers would end. But here you are, given the same deal, which means either nobody has ever succeeded or success was never the point. Now, here is the first thing Urbanshade does not want you to notice. Your designation, expendable class personnel, not researcher, not soldier, not employee, expendable, a word that means usable once and then discarded. They did not accidentally choose that word. They chose it because it is accurate. And if you go back through the expedition records in that facility, every single previous designation reads the same thing: status unknown. Not freed, not returned, not deal honored. Status unknown. Every single one. Now, let me tell you about the equipment they gave you before sending you in. The prisoner diving gear, the PDG. Every player gets it at the submarine dock, issued by Urbanshade before entry. You assumed it was survival equipment, something to help you make it through 115 rooms of monsters and darkness. Read the design specification. Primary function, prisoner containment. Secondary function, operational support. Survival is not listed in the primary functions. The equipment Urbanshade gave you before sending you into a monster-infested facility was designed to keep you inside, not to keep the monsters out. You have been wearing your own cage since before you took your first step into the facility. Now, here is Sebastian Solace. Sebastian is your guide, your merchant, the voice that tells you what you need to know. He was brought to the Black Site from death row, a prisoner just like you, expendable class, given the same deal. He is still there, not because he failed, because he figured out what the mission actually was. Urbanshade used Sebastian as a test subject, mixed his DNA with sea creatures, gave him gills, transformed him into something no longer entirely human. And the moment that transformation was complete, they did not honor his deal. They reclassified him, crossed out expendable class, and wrote Z13 anomaly in its place. Sebastian became too valuable to release, and he spent decades inside that facility, watching every expedition that came through, every group of expendables given the same deal he was given, walking the same path toward the same destination. Sebastian watched all of them reach room 115, and not one of them came back the same way they went in. Because here is what the crystal actually does. The files in that facility describe it as asset integration. When a player makes contact with the crystal does not get retrieved. The crystal integrates with whoever comes to retrieve it, evaluates compatibility, and compatible subjects get reclassified. The same reclassification that happened to Sebastian, from expendable to permanent facility asset. The deal is not honored because you never leave as a person who needs a deal honored. You leave as something Urbanshade owns permanently. And your PDG, the containment equipment they gave you at the start, was designed specifically to ensure you could not leave before reaching room 115, before the integration could complete. Urbanshade controlled both ends of the mission from the beginning. Sebastian knew all of this. He spent decades documenting it, watching it happen.
And in October 2025, he made his move. Faked anesthesia during transport, killed a guardsman, stole his P-card, and triggered the largest containment breach the facility had ever seen. Released every entity, every monster, every anomaly Urbanshade had spent decades capturing, and gave the PAI access to every system in the facility, with one specific target: the Crystal Room Integration Protocol. Sebastian did not cause the breach out of revenge. He caused it to destroy the machine that had been processing expendables for 60 years. The breach was the only escape that was ever possible. Not for Sebastian, for every future player who would load in at the submarine dock, read the Freedom Promise on the briefing board, and walk toward room 115 not knowing what waited there. Sebastian did it for you. The question nobody can answer is whether it worked. The deletion logs show 98% of the integration protocol destroyed before Urbanshade emergency teams reached the server farm. 98%, not 100%. The final 2% is unconfirmed. The crystal is still there, still glowing at room 115, still waiting. Whether it's waiting to integrate or waiting to be retrieved, nobody who has reached it has come back to report which. So next time you spawn at the submarine dock, next time Sebastian hands you your gear and watches you walk toward the facility, look at him. Really look at him. He's not a merchant running a business. He's someone who knows exactly what's at the end of those 115 rooms, who spent decades trying to destroy it, who watches every expedition leave, hoping the 2% doesn't matter. He raises his hand sometimes when you turn away, like he almost said something. He never does. Drop your theory about what really happens in the Crystal Room in the comments, because Sebastian knows the answer, and I think he left it somewhere in that facility for someone patient enough to find it. My next video goes deeper. What Urbanshade found in the Let Van zone before they ever built the Black Site. Something older than the facility, older than the corporation, older than anything that should be at the bottom of that ocean.